Fox Robbins Business Show. We've got a very interesting couple of episodes that we're going to shoot on the best use of the internet to help your business grow. I mean, I must say that any small business that is not studying and using best use of the internet these days is making a big mistake. The trouble is with the internet is that it's not a fixed object. It keeps moving. It's developing all the time, and keeping up is an issue for all small businesses. And this show is going to help. We've got a special guest today. Adrienne Baumann is going to talk about the internet, especially the social media portion of it. And she's an expert in the websites and social media and the email marketing, especially. Well, she's a specialist on anything, as far as I know.
All of the above, huh?
Sure.
And we've got I'm the co-host of the show, Bill Fox, but the other co-host is the dynamic, electric, efficacious, and efflorescent Coach Robbins.
Mr. Bill, how are you?
Coach.
Did he swear at me again?
Not yet.
Okay, good. One of those words sounded ominous.
Efficacious.
The coach is outstanding because he's always, every day of his life, he's in touch with the small business community in one way or another, either by counseling or attending meetings or giving presentations himself or teaching, whatever. He's omnipresent.
That was another
And
swear
he
word.
is
Another word.
Finger on the pulse of small business, and Adrienne is also likewise, highly experienced and knowledgeable in the small business area too.
Thank you.
And because I just saw her, she gave a great presentation to SCORE, which is Service Corps Retired Executives, and to help them understand, keep up with the small business environment.
Which is
So,
always changing, as you said.
We're going to proceed conquering social media to help your business grow, Adrienne.
Let's do it.
And we'll start off with, what is content marketing?
Well, content marketing is what it sounds like. It's anything that you're creating and putting out online, whether it's your website or social networks you participate in, or anything that's content, whether it's specifically for marketing or not, anything that you're saying your voice.
And so we're saying that the internet is not a fixed object; it's moving constantly.
Yes.
And fast.
People out
Yes.
there, not all over the world. In fact, I mean, it's an international thing.
For sure.
For sure.
Moving fast and picking up speed.
So we have to ask you today, what's new in content? We'll probably have to ask you next week.
or this afternoon.
Yeah, it'll be
Probably.
different.
So what's new? What, as far as you are concerned right now, what is new in content marketing?
Well, the main thing now is we've always said content is king, but now he's been upgraded to emperor. So the old way for SEO, like search engine optimization, was heavily reliant on keywords, specifically on your website. I'm not a website designer developer. You can talk to folks that specialize in that. But that was what a lot of us still consider content
Yeah.
is king for SEO, but it's really everywhere you're posting anything online that's connected to your brand. So any of your social networks, the content you're sharing there is affecting your visibility, your
Facebook,
discoverability,
Twitter, Google,
all of
yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
So content really is emperor and upgrading from
There's
there.
only one place to go from emperor, and that's to empress.
Empress.
And then-
I like the way
And then you've reached the pinnacle.
then you're on Mount Olympus.
I just say one thing to small businesses is this content thing. You really have to pay attention. It's no longer, I can, just a few years ago, you could say, well, create a website and kind of let it go at that. You say, oh, I'm on the internet, I got a website.
Yeah.
That is completely wrong. If that is your thinking, you've got to continue to participate.
Exactly. And it's fresh content.
And fresh, and so content, don't ignore that word. That is a key. That's a key word. And so, out of content, talk to us and tell us there are, what you say, there are 3 V's of content marketing.
Right, when you're creating your content, you want to consider visuals, and that's really meaning having a mix of the types of content that you're posting, so it's not all text heavy. So visuals are huge, especially on some social networks, particularly Facebook, Pinterest, which runs only on visuals, but you want to create infographics or quotes or factoids as visuals. And there are a lot of tools out there that can make that easy for you to do. Instead of sharing just a fact, a statistic as a text, you can lay it into a graphic. So there's a couple of freebies that are easy to use. One is called PicMonkey, PICmonkey.com or .net. I think it's .com. You can go to PicMonkey and just overlay text onto a graphic, create that into an image. I'm a big fan of one called Canva, CANVA.com. You can set up a free account there, and there's templates ready-made for you in the right dimensions for each network so that you can create visuals that are the right size.
Right.
So using that kind of content. Verticals, meaning sharing your content on places with similar audience. Again, if it's visuals, or it's on a vertical from Pinterest and then Snapchat and Instagram, some of these other what we call fringe social media, the ones that are not the top 6, you know, your Facebooks, Twitters, and those folks.
Yeah, right.
And then video is the biggest, newest thing coming in digital, or here in digital marketing. Video is now the content you have to have.
Right.
It started with, well, it's always had video, but you know, people started blogging, then it was vlogging. And when we all have in our pockets a smartphone that has a camera built right into it.
Right.
So we all have the ability to be
Flip it and take a
videographers.
video. Yeah.
Exactly. So it makes it really easy to create video content. And now with Facebook's new feature, Facebook Live,
Right.
you can live stream right off your device onto Facebook without having to know anything
Right.
except how to press that button.
Now every morning I get Harvard Business Review, you know, quote of the day. Now it's coming in and I'm watching a 2-minute video explaining some particular business subject. It's fantastic. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's so easy to do. It used to be you'd have to get a camera,
yeah,
video it, upload it to something like YouTube, and then share it. Now it's just instantaneous on Facebook Live.
two thumb movements and you're done. Right.
Exactly. So that's the way, but I don't want to rely just on video. Not everybody wants to consume video. So you might watch that 2-minute Bloomberg video,
Right.
but you know, I prefer to just skim and read.
Yeah, and read what you want. Pick it out of a line
Right.
of bullets.
So
Yeah.
if you are going to create video, it's very important that you also have a text option. So maybe
Right.
it's the video here and the article under it or something
Right.
like that.
Right.
And there are, speaking of content, Adrienne, there are content marketing tools, so to speak. Can you tell us about that?
Sure, those are all the ways that you're getting your message out into the world. The trick of that we'll talk about is knowing where to send that content to reach the right audience. But
Right.
email is still the #1 way to reach the most people. What you may have heard, email is dead. It's not dead. It's not true.
Opt-in email, right?
Well, that's the law,
Yeah.
yes.
Right.
So if you want to go back and read the Canned Spam Act of 2006, I recommend it to my friends who have difficulty sleeping if you want to go and read some legalese.
Yeah.
But it is the law, so
Yeah.
opting in for email. But email marketing is still the #1 way because once
Right.
you've opted in, you're inviting my content into your inbox. It's
Right.
not as though I'm waiting for you to
I'm
kind
looking
of
for it.
stumble across it.
I'm looking for
Right.
it every day. There's certain things I'm looking for that I've
Exactly.
opted in, and I can either make the choice of deleting it or it looks really interesting and read it. It's all based
Exactly.
on the subject line that
Oh
I
my
see.
goodness, yes.
Absolutely.
Who's it from? The subject line.
Get me with the subject line. That's what you can capture
That's the
me
hardest
with.
part to write too.
It really is difficult. It's hard to take the body of a text of 200 words that you might have written and then put it into something that will grab somebody. But you got to do it anyway.
Right.
Right.
And that is, as a partner for Constant Contact, we do suggest the, I think it's the 2-2-2 rule. So you got to capture them in the first 2 words. You've got the first 2 seconds, and what's going to make me open it today, right now.
I love that. I
So
love
that's
that.
an easy way to remember
The
it.
timing issue is and there's so much for people to see. I mean, they'll give you only 2 words or 2.
That's
2
it.
seconds.
Because
That's all
we're
you
skimming
get.
through everything to see which one do I need to read. Do.
It starts getting their attention. You don't get attention, you don't get a conviction, desire, close, you get nothing. You get nowhere in the sales or marketing process. 2 seconds,
Right. Then all
2
that great
words.
content inside is going unloved.
and it's
We
going
don't want
to
that.
go away, right?
So email marketing is a great way to
It's still
distribute
big.
your
They've been
content.
predicting the death of email marketing for the last
No,
5
no.
years, and it is not dead.
Was it Mark Twain who
That
said,
prediction
rumors of
is,
my demise are...
What's
Is
that?
highly exaggerated.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that's the quote.
Yeah.
Was that Mark Twain? We're going to
Yeah,
It
go
was
Mark
Mark
make sure
Twain.
we
Yeah,
quote
my
the right
death, the
person.
rumors of my death are highly exaggerated, right?
Good one. But then other ways to distribute your content, through blogging,
Yep.
your own website, obviously, your video marketing, all the social networks you might be using. Continues on to the next slide as we go down, and you'll see again other ways. Podcasts, the live streams we referenced, like Facebook Live or Google Hangouts Live on Air, are really awesome too. Any types of presentations, a lot of folks say, for instance, like, well, I'm in the law industry or something like that. There's nothing interesting. We don't have visuals, or we don't, whatever. You can create presentations on SlideShare that you can share publicly to demonstrate your expertise. You can
Right.
create white papers or ebooks, things like that are
Right.
going to get your message out there, and again, show that you're an expert in your field. Create your content. It all links back to your website,
And
to your home.
differentiate yourself from the competition.
Right.
Absolutely. I love the one, it's old now, it's at least 5, maybe more years old, but somebody put a little video of a blender, a very good blender. Remember that one?
Oh, yes.
But they blended an iPhone. That was really different.
It was cool.
And it got like millions of hits because it was so funny.
It was funny. It
Now-
was genius, because what are people looking for? People are always researching the newest iPhone. What's the next thing that's coming out? So he
Right.
was capturing that keyword for search,
Right.
but it was a blender, and it
he
was
sold a
humorous
lot
and
of
interesting.
blenders. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I just wonder how many kids tried that at home.
Yeah.
As we go forward talking about this, though, you have to the small business owner has to understand that anything that's done on the internet has to be prepared. If someone is looking at you on their home computer, I mean a desktop computer or a laptop like this one, but more especially on the smaller computer, the thing
The
that
mobile
goes in the
device.
tablet, or
The
now
iPhone.
the say
Yeah.
smartphone. At least I don't know, Adrienne. At least 50-60% of your audience is on the
Mobile.
smartphone.
Over that
Mobile,
now.
whatever.
And on average, I think it's in the mid 60% of people are consuming their content
Right.
primarily on
Yep.
mobile tablets.
So
and
the
phones
point
and
is
things
that
like
for the small business owner is that you have to have it in mind and make sure that your content is effective and viewable on these different
For sure.
devices.
And the keys areas to look for that are your website and your email marketing pieces. So your website has to be mobile responsive, not just mobile friendly, but mobile responsive, meaning that it will adapt to the screen on
Right.
which it's being viewed.
Right.
You may have heard, I think it was not quite a year ago, but last fall, it was called Mobilegeddon, and that was where Google was changing its search
Right.
results. We were
Changed
talking
its
about it's not
algorithm.
just SEO. So
Right.
if your website was not mobile responsive, then your search results were going to be moved down,
Way down.
into the Google algorithm.
Yeah.
So that's very, very critical. If you haven't updated your website, do that. Like right now, it's worth the investment. You need to be mobile responsive. Same thing with your email content that you're creating.
Right.
Whatever product that you're using, your email service provider has mobile responsive templates. So
Right.
use those.
Yep. Or you'll never be found. You'll be
Or
on-
people aren't going to read it, and if your content is like multiple columns, and I
And
have
you
to do
gotta-
a lot of this
and
to
you
read
gotta
it.
scroll
or
below the
doesn't
fold.
fit in the screen,
Yeah.
right, forget
Not gonna
it.
do it.
Exactly. Good
So
point.
the content, now we're going to ask you on content. There needs to be a plan. I mean, it's not
For sure.
scattershot. There's a marketing plan.
Ideally.
Oh, it's a marketing plan within your marketing
Right,
plan.
exactly.
Whatever.
Yep.
And talk to us about the marketing plan or the plan for your content.
Sure. Well, as you said, it's always changing. So as we know now, your website is your hub. You have to have your home
Yep.
base as your
Right.
website.
Yep.
But when you're putting content out and participating in all these social conversations happening on all the networks, you need to know where's your audience. Who are you trying to reach?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And where are they most likely to be online?
Mm-hmm.
But you also want to consider how much time do you have to invest in that?
Right.
Creating the content, being consistent, measuring it. So a lot of mistakes that I see small businesses do is say, well, I know I need to be on Facebook, and I've heard a lot of great things about Twitter, and well, Pinterest is popular. And so they'll set up accounts on these different networks, but then they don't have the time to really participate actively on all of those platforms to gain the audience, to reach the audience, and then they just kind of fitter away.
Yeah,
So,
they go stale.
right, or you just fall off the radar.
That's right.
So most everybody is on Facebook.
Right.
We
Yeah.
know that. But if your target audience are, teens or, 13 to 19 years old, they're probably not going to focus heavily on Facebook. They might be elsewhere.
Right.
Instagram, Snapchat, things like that.
Instagram's hot with
So
that demographic. Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's really knowing where your audience is, how much time you have to invest, how much content you're going to create, how often you're going to post that content, and what types of content are you going to create, various types of content to keep it interesting.
Right.
And the rule of thumb that we always share too is 80% of your content should not be about you, not what you're promoting, buy my thing or come.
It's not an infomercial.
Right.
Yeah.
It's being part of the conversation. So you really have to understand the culture of each social network. Right. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well, I think. But for Facebook, that we'll use that as the behemoth one that it is, that'll be the best example.
It is.
But people don't want to be sold to anywhere we go.
Nobody does. Right.
Right. And these social networks have now provided the opportunity for us as small businesses to not be selling as so much as building the familiarity, the trust, being part of the
Engaging
community.
with each other.
Engagement is huge.
Yep.
So if you're creating content that's interesting, it's valuable, it's entertaining, it's funny, whatever it happens to
Educational.
be,
Right.
in a way that's going to be engaged with. Because if
That's
people
right.
aren't clicking that like or share or comment, then you're not going to gather any data.
It's not going viral. Right.
Right,
And
you're
that's
not
what you
going to
want
get
it
any
do.
good at it,
Right.
and it's not going to be
Message to
seen.
small business, you have to listen to what Coach and Adrienne are saying. This is so crucial. But of course, my generation was a generation of print media, essentially, where the newspaper, the magazine,
What is that?
flyers, and all that stuff, the yellow pages.
Well,
But it was all
he's very old.
I
it was
guess.
all in that day and age. Your message was, here, buy this.
Right,
Buy this jacket, buy this belt, buy this pair of shoes, buy this food, and da. Now it's participation and interest factor.
and that can still be your message. Your ultimate message may still be to buy this tie,
Yeah.
but you're not going to come out and say that.
No.
You would say, okay, who do I want to buy this tie? Who does this appeal to? And let's just be there,
Right.
in that group, because people are going to buy from people they know, like, and trust. We've
Know,
heard
like,
that
and trust.
forever.
It's
That's always the way.
Always know,
So
like,
what
and
used
trust,
to
yeah.
be where we would talk to our friends and neighbors like, oh, hey, your lawn is looking really great. What are you using? Oh, it's XYZ brand something. Oh, okay, maybe I want to look into that too. Well, now we don't have to talk to our neighbors or in person, where we're getting all that content, all that information from user-generated reviews that people are posting about products. People are shopping online. If they're going to discover you, they want to know, well, what are people saying about your company? What are you saying about yourself? Are you part of the conversation? Are you interesting? Do I relate to you in some way? We talked about those 3 R's a little bit,
Right.
I think, or we will.
We will.
About why should I buy my tie from you versus ordering it online from any of these billion people that sell a similar tie.
Since we're talking about ties, any chance that Hillary might buy a Trump tie for Bill?
I don't know.
mean,
Does he wear ties anymore?
Miss Clinton, this is a Hillary, this is a Trump tie. You might want to get Bill one.
And
might
the
be the
show does
wrong
not
audience for
endorse
that,
any
huh?
candidate. We are
Further
not
on the-
endorsing.
I want to ask you more on the content marketing plan. You've got additional questions here that are crucial to the process. What are the pain points? How will you resolve that? What is your
Exactly.
message? Tell us what you mean by that.
Well, pain point, not necessarily causing pain, but it's like, what can you solve for me? So say I'm a mother of a 5-year-old. We're
What's the
getting
problem?
ready for,
Right.
he's the problem, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But so we're getting ready for kindergarten. So I'm a target audience for anybody who has anything to do with small children, children's activities, preparing for school,
Right.
back to school supplies, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So if you are a company that sells say, experiences for young children during the summer, then how are you going to communicate that to me? Like,
Right.
hey, kids, it's summer, you're out of school looking for things to do. Here's a great thing. So
Here's
that's
something everybody loves. Look at it, thousands of kids are
right.
now.
So that might be solving my issue of finding activities to enjoy together with our family.
Right.
Or then the next step, books to read or whatever it happens to be. Any small business, whatever your service, whatever your product.
Right.
Restaurants, a huge amount of restaurants on Cape Cod, huge amount of visitors
I
coming
noticed
to the
that.
Cape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I eat every day. I don't know about you guys. Every day.
Several times a day.
I know, right? So scads of options.
I can't afford it anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think I have PB&J in
There's a
my
pain
bag.
point. There's a pain point.
Have some peanuts in the car if you want.
So if your pain point is where am I going to go for lunch today,
Yeah.
then who's on your mind? Who do you relate to? Whether it's the type of food, maybe it's a burger. Okay, you can go to a million places and get a burger, but why are you going to go to this place?
Because I went to Yelp or I went to TripAdvisor and I looked and I see who got 4.5 stars
Right.
and where they are and
Or
click
maybe you've
directions.
met somebody who works
Right.
there, or the business owner,
Yeah.
or whatever it happens to be, or recommended it to you.
Yeah.
I said, oh, hey, you know what? What I love is blah.
Right.
And you
Well,
say,
when
"Oh,
I'm
maybe I'll
stuck,
try it
I have
out."
to call the coach.
Yeah, and I tell them.
And if you're stuck on places to go for lunch,
Oh, yeah.
you need a lot of coaching. My goodness. But those are the kind of questions. So what is it that I answer? Who's asking for that information or that service? And,
Right.
and where are they that I can get my message to them? And they're in
then-
all these different places now.
And then when you answer those questions, you're going to say, what response do you want then, right?
Right. So any piece of content that you're sharing, whether it's just a humorous video on Facebook, what is the call to action? What
Right.
do you want to happen next? And if it's just a matter of, here's something I think you'll like, I want you to, hopefully they'll click like or one of the other responses on Facebook. Because every time they click and engage with your content, they're building up their affinity with you.
Right.
So the same thing is going to increase your visibility through other people, blah, blah, blah. That
Right.
whole algorithm, that's just Facebook. Everywhere else in the world, on the digital world that you're sharing a piece of content, has to be, why am I putting it here?
Right.
Click here to go to the website, or
Right.
click here to like it, or
Right.
call.
Share with your friends,
whatever it is,
whatever, right.
donate, purchase the tickets,
Do
whatever it
something.
happens to be.
Yeah.
So you do want to have purpose to your content, but
Yeah.
sometimes the purpose is, especially on Facebook, where it's very casual, very entertaining, just to share the funny video of the guy with his blender.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't own one of those blenders.
Yeah.
But millions of people have seen those videos. A lot of people perhaps have bought that blender, thinking if it can grind up an iPad,
It
it's
can
going to
do-
make a mean margarita.
That's right.
It's going to be okay.
Exactly.
And your plan needs to talk about how are you going to distribute. That's back to all the different sources or
Correct.
places to.
And
to
it
go
comes
with your
back
thing.
to, as you have your business plan, and then you have your marketing plan on top of that, or
Yeah.
layered into it, and then you're going to break that down into, all right, if I know where my audience is mostly here, here, and here, and this is the message I want to get out, and where am I going to deliver it, and how often, and then we'll talk about in the next section is all about the data that's going to give you the information
Right.
about when and where am I going to get the most bang for my buck.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
While we're talking about this, I'm sitting here and I'm saying, there's an elephant in the room.
Did he just call me
So
an
you-
elephant?
I think he called me one.
We eat a lot of times a day, but really, Bill?
I think
Elephant?
the
okay.
elephant is that you're in a small business owners coach are going to think about, analyze, devise this plan, execute the plan on the internet all by themselves. I don't think so. I think it's. I mean, I consider it, an issue with the small business person is taking advantage of all the advice and direction that you're providing. The owner himself or herself or owners and so forth. I think that the elephant in the room is, how am I going to execute all of this?
How am I gonna do it?
And take advantage of this advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't see a small business owner or small business owners shouldering that load all by themselves. You're going to have to go to the outside. Coach?
Not necessarily.
You know, I mean, it's expensive when you have to go outside. You do have to devote time to it. You do have to have a written plan. You do have to sit down and say, I can't do it all. I can't work in my business and do all of the things I maybe even want to do. So what you have to do is lay it out in a written marketing plan. I
Right.
don't beat on people constantly, have a written business plan. I really don't. You want some money? Yes. You're looking for an investor? Yes. You should have a written business plan. I'm not saying you shouldn't. But if you don't have a written marketing plan, you're making a huge mistake. I mean,
Exactly.
that, and maybe I'm prejudiced having spent most of my career as a marketing and marketing research professor. Marketing is how you create customers. That's how you make money. That's job
Exactly.
one, Peter Drucker. You need to take this thing, you gotta put all of that stuff in there, and then you have to pick and choose. Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
do it all. Like
You
you
have to
said
have
at
a
the beginning of the
blueprint.
shows. You have to have a blueprint. You need a roadmap.
And it moves.
Yeah.
But there's certain things, like we were talking about, knowing like where you're going to post your content and how often.
Right.
So for something like Facebook, you know you want to be on there at least 3 to 5 times a week minimum.
Right.
You can pre-schedule posts for Facebook.
Yep.
So that's something that you could sit down in half an hour and say, okay, I want to create some original content. You can curate content from elsewhere if it's of interest to your audience and you want to connect with it. So it could be a humorous cartoon or it could be a valuable business article, whatever it is. So you can pre-schedule those 3 to 5 pieces and then fill in additional content as life is happening, because you have this device in your back pocket that allows you to quickly snap a picture, post it to your Facebook
Right.
page.
And
Here's
it
what's
can be
happening.
instant.
And it can take 4 seconds.
That's right.
But it's just keeping that thought in your mind.
You gotta be aware of it.
Like, oh, this is something interesting. It's behind the
this-
scenes, or something that people might not know about how I run my business, or something
Right.
valuable. Click it and share it and done. So
Good.
it is doable
We-
in a small amount of time.
Yep.
You got, this stuff that you're giving us is fantastic. I think we're gonna go on to another episode. But for the moment, right now, we're going to end this episode. We're gonna go on to content marketing for your business or
Sure.
organization and talk more along what business owners really need to do.
Right, we'll get into
Okay?
some more about the content itself.
Right.
And thank you guys for joining us.
Come back.
And this is
Better.
the Fox Robbins Business Show, and feel free to send comments to foxrobbins@gmail.com. That's foxrobbins@gmail.com with your comments, critiques, suggestions, but keep it nice. I mean, and we will see you guys next time.